Hey everybody, this is Zephaniah Francois, your emotional health advocate, the founder of Kingdom Child, and the creator of Shea for Him and Her, an all natural moisturizing system for family. So I am here at Levy Park. This is where I will be hosting our Glow Series activation, which is the idea of glowing well. This is where I will be hosting our weekly meetings. And so I wanted to kind of take some time to talk about that, right? So the other location where I'll be hosting these meetings is Chop Shop. So if you haven't been to Chop Shop, go visit one of your local Chop Shops. They have great food. They have bowls. They have acai bowls. They have a lot of great things on their menu. My favorite is the acai bowl. But enough about that. So I am here. I wanted to talk explicitly about what to expect, what the wellness initiative that I've launched is all about. And I wanted to, again, come out here to Levi Park so you can see where you will be at with Kingdom Child. And so this is the complimentary wellness gift that you will receive for the weekly meeting. And then for the Glow Activation Series, you'll also receive a complimentary wellness bag. But the difference between the two meetings, the Glow Activation Series, think fellowship, think activation relative to using something like tangible, because you are going to be able to choose one of 3 of my Glow body oils, right? So we'll have 3 different fragrances, 3 different scents that you can choose from, and we will use this throughout the meeting. So it's still going to be centered on wellness. We're just going to use the Glow body oil as part of an activation and a way of connecting with ourselves and connecting with others. Sorry, gotta sneeze. Out here. So the weekly meetings is where we will talk more about emotional and experiential language, where we will break down the how-to, right? Where we'll be able to address certain topics that are put on the table. So one is going to be with our Glow body oil. It's going to be centered around an experience relative to using something. We're still going to have the conversation. We're still going to journal, right? And then the weekly meetings, these are recurring. The Glow Activation, that's happening once a month, right? Still going to do it every month, but it's going to happen once a month. But the weekly meetings at 1:30 to 3, and then again in the evening from 6 to 7:30, that is happening Tuesdays and Thursdays every week, right? So whether you decide to come weekly or whether you want to drop in a few meetings, whether you want this to be a space where, hey, I'm navigating through something and I want to be in a community, I want to be a part of a community that's going to support me, right? And so when it comes to emotional health, so this is where I want to tie in the tool that we're going to be using, which is emotional and experiential language. When it comes to emotional health, a lot of times we confine it to a label, or we confine it to 1 or 2 things. But when we talk about emotional health is relative to everything. The way you sleep, how you wake up, it's relative to everything. What you like, what you don't like. There's nothing that you really can't put on the table when it comes to living emotionally healthy, right? And so it's the idea of mind, body, spirit, soul, right? We're taking all of ourselves and we are taking ownership, right? And that is rooted in personal responsibility. So I'm creating a space, a community, right, where you're going to be able to learn how to do the work well. And so that is where the initiative for the Glow Activation comes in at, right? Just kind of spicing it up a little bit. Because it's the idea of promoting self-care. And one thing that I actively do in my life is self-care. I make time to make sure that I am well, so that how I am to you is a reflection of how I am to myself, right? And so the products that I use are all on my line. I use all of my products. But when I'm using these products, I am very much aware of who I am, and I'm very much intentional with caring for myself, right, in the most natural way that possible. And it's fun. You know, it's a way for me to honor what I desire to be to others, right? Starting with myself. And so the Glow Activation, the Glow Well series is all about sharing that experience with you. So let's dive into the bag. Okay, so this bag is for the Glow Activation series. So it's going to be different. We're going to have a different type of wellness bag for the weekly meetings, okay? But for the Glow Activation series, if you are interested and you want to be a part, you're going to get one of my signature Glow body oils. Now, mind you, we're going to be exploring different essential oils, right? And so we have one for calm and focus, we have one for grounding, and we have one for restoration healing, right? And so you are also going to have a little reminder, a little note. You can take this on your mirror, you can take this with you, but this is just going to be a silent reminder of what ownership looks like, because you're going to be reminded that love is active, right? And so you're going to have this little prompt excerpt that's going to remind you of your personal responsibility. That's going to be in your goodie bag. And we are also going to have your own personal reflection card, and this is something that you can use. You can use it to create your own reflection prompts, but it's going to be, you know, a prompt that you can use daily, that you can expand on. So you're going to have a reflection prompt for yourself. So you're going to be able to go home, and over time, y'all, I plan on adding more, but right now I'm using what I have and doing what I can to promote the thing that I believe in, which is living emotionally healthy relative to love, right? Love being our source. And so the other thing I kind of wanted to talk about is the idea of initiating the conversations of, how do you define love? You know, take a moment right now and ask yourself, what is my definition of love? And beyond that, what accounts for that definition, right? And then another layer of that is, how is the love that I believe in, how is it sustaining me emotionally? Meaning, how does it work for me emotionally? How does it support me? I'm outside, y'all, so my sinuses. But how is the love that I believe in supporting me, right? And as an advocate, I am advocating for love relative to the source, which is God. So we take the expanded definition of love that is rooted in scripture, and that becomes our tool, our weapon to navigate living emotionally healthy. It also is the voice and the language to speak back to our emotions. It is also the power that develops us in every experience, so we're no longer being confined to the meanings that our experiences carry. We're being defined by love, because we have a baseline that is constant and consistent with its source. So we're no longer having to operate from our emotions, our experiences, and information, which is EEI. So everything that I'm talking about now is relative to emotional and experiential language, right? And emotional language is the idea of understanding that your emotions have a voice and they want to be heard. Experiential language is the idea of understanding that our experiences carry meanings, and oftentimes those meanings are defining us, meaning they're becoming our identity, versus us being developed by our experiences. And beyond that, every experience is an opportunity to experience how love is, to experience the nature of love, and to learn how to relate to love, right? And at the same time, it's self-discovery for us. So a lot is happening when we make love the baseline relative to God, who is the source. He describes himself as love. And the last thing I want to close out saying is, this space is for everyone. So if you're not a believer, emotional and experiential language is still for you. And I'm advocating for you, because it is a model for you to go into your current belief system and see how it's working for you, or challenge it if that's what you need to do. And it's an invitation for you to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. But it is not the idea of me imposing my beliefs or my faith on you. Emotional and experiential language is all about discovery, It's all about ownership, and it's all about living well. So if you have any questions, any thoughts, anything else that you want to know, I'm going to try to do these videos so I can hone in on questions that are being asked and just share more about the wellness initiative. I'm also going out into the community, y'all. Like, if y'all see me at y'all apartment complex, y'all better say hi, because I am outside, right? For the rest of the year, I am visiting apartment complexes, and I am reaching out, and I am setting up a wellness table, which is an interactive experience, and this is all part of my wellness initiative. So the other thing that I want to close with, I know I said I was going to close about 30 seconds ago, is I need your support, right? Living emotionally healthy is all about participation. It's all about engagement, right? It's all about having an exchange. So if you're hearing this message, if you know someone who's on a wellness journey, share this message, share my videos, come out to these events, see what it's like, participate, engage, right? I want you to have an opportunity to experience what continues to support me in living well. And I also want to come alongside you, right? And I want to facilitate that awareness in your life, right? But I also want you to do that to someone else, right? So this is all about a ripple effect. This is all about treating people how you want to be treated. This is all about learning how to treat yourself so you can treat people genuinely and from an authentic place. This is all about learning how God is. This is all about making love relationship versus religion, right? Too often when we talk about love, when we talk about God, we reduce it to what we do, what has been done for us. But I want to facilitate the awareness about how love is. This is about living in the nature of God. This is about operating from love, right? And I use love because love is universal. Love is powerful. But if it's not rooted in the source, are we experiencing that power in our lives emotionally? So I hope y'all have a wonderful day. And I'm getting better as I record because I'm talking very low right now, but I do know how to project my voice. But since I'm out here at the park with total strangers around me, I'm being a little conservative. So y'all don't judge me. Y'all come out to my events. Come be a part of this experience. Come support me as I come alongside you to support you. Share the message. Tag me in the video if you do. And I hope y'all have an amazing day from Kingdom Child. Bye.